Now on WKRG News 5.
Alcohol is big business for Alabama, but one senator wants to shut it down.
It's a push-button issue within the veteran community.
The gun control debate is hitting close to home for men and women who serve in the military. They're afraid many may sacrifice their health.
And a community alert involving credit cards. One woman says a criminal ripped her off.
From WKRG News 5, the Gulf Coast news leader in high definition. The news starts now.
Hello, and thanks for joining us. I'm Mel Shaw.
And I'm Roseanne Haven. First on 5 tonight, an Alabama senator says he has a plan to save the state $45 million, but it involves shutting down some retail stores. News 5's Alan Carter joins us now live with more on this plan. Alan?
Hey, Roseanne, those retail stores are these ABC liquor stores. That's because Alabama is in the business of selling alcohol. It's one of the few states to do so, but there are many saying that Alabama needs to get out of that business.
103.39.
Mark Marcuson is in a business unlike any other because it's hard to compete when your biggest competitor is the government.
It's just tough to have a store and be a small independent and compete against ABC stores with the price.
To complicate things, not only does Marcuson have to compete against the state, they're also his supplier. He buys all of his liquor at the same price anyone else would at a state-run store. That means if he wants to turn a profit, there's a markup.
You're going to price your liquor probably anywhere from 35 to 45% markup.
It might not be a problem for too much longer. One Alabama state legislator wants to get the state out of the alcohol selling business.
Should the state be in the retail liquor business in the 21st century? Is this truly a function of state government, or is it just a vestige of the Prohibition era?
State Senator Arthur Orr is working on a bill that would close the ABC stores. He says getting out of liquor retail could save the state about $45 million a year.
If you remove all the labor costs, if you remove all the leases at the local level for the various stores, if you remove the utilities costs, the insurance, the equipment, etc., there are substantial savings.
But you know, in politics, it's all about the votes. Orr says getting the bill passed won't be easy, so Marcuson isn't quite ready to celebrate.
It would be nice if it does, but you know, if it doesn't, I'm just going to have to buckle down here and try and stay in business and keep my costs down.
There are about 600 employees that work at these ABC stores throughout the state. Senator Orr says he's working on putting language in the legislation to make sure that those folks aren't all unemployed when and if this bill passes. Reporting live in Mobile, Alan Carter, News 5.
Thanks, Alan. Alabama isn't the only state that controls liquor sales. 17 others do the same thing. News 5 will follow the bill during the session. The legislature begins on February 5th.
Sales taxes on stuff like alcohol are important to Alabama's economy and to the city of Mobile. Finance leaders say online shopping is hurting local sales tax revenues, even with the extra penny tax. News 5's Ashley Knight went to see if more people are opting to shop online rather than local stores. She joins us now live with more.
That's right, Mel. They're blaming online shopping. That's the reason that city officials gave yesterday. So we decided to hit malls today to ask shoppers whether or not they prefer to shop online. And 9 times out of 10, they said yes. Now, we talked to the general manager of the Bel Air Mall, who said there were aggressive efforts to push for shopping locally right before Christmas. And he says not many know that for every dollar spent, 55 cents goes straight to the employee and their family. And the malls here have definitely felt the effects of the popularity of online shopping.
Well, as an industry, we certainly realize that people are shopping more online. Our company has embraced the social media, and we see it as an extra way to market to our customers.
Now, he says they're trying to keep a strong presence online. They do have a Facebook page, and he says many of the retail stores in there do have online outlets. Live in Mobile County, I'm Ashley Knight, News 5.
Gun and ammunition sales are up thanks to the gun control debate, but the controversy has many veterans uneasy. The gun control debate is putting a new focus on mental health. Thousands of Iraq and Afghanistan veterans are coming home suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. As News 5's Chad Petrie reports, some vets worry their guns might be in the crosshairs.
Stephen Fleming is a combat vet with more than physical wounds. He was injured during a 2004 attack in Iraq. Since then, he's been diagnosed with PTSD and battled depression. For him, hunting trips like the one he went on last weekend with other vets are therapy.
Most of the time I'm either stuck in bed, physical therapy, or whatnot. Just being outside is an amazing gift.
He says there's a growing concern among veterans with the gun control debate heating up. Their guns could be targeted.
The concern is always there. Each time a national tragedy occurs, it's a push-button issue within the veteran community.
According to data from the Veterans Administration, as many as 30% of returning vets are diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. PTSD can be the cause of problems big and small.
I mean, it could be a simple dealing with depression or insomnia, all the way up to needing to be institutionalized. I mean, at the very worst, and I've only known maybe one person out of hundreds and hundreds who've had that happen to.
Fleming and other veterans I spoke with off camera say there's a concern that vets dealing with PTSD could get lumped in with anyone deemed mentally unfit to own a weapon. He says the key is education. Someone with PTSD who is dangerous would likely be singled out early on.
If it's severe enough, it's most likely going to have been noticed. The issue is going to be, they're going to be either institutionalized, they're going to be declared non-compos mentis. So there's checks and balances out there already.
Seeking care for mental health already has a stigma in the military. While rare, Fleming says there may be some vets who refuse to seek care out of fear someone could take away their Second Amendment rights. Chad Petrie, News 5.
An estimated 1.8 million people are banned from buying guns in America for mental health reasons, and that number is on the rise. More states are sending names of mental health patients to a federal database established back in 1998. The FBI says a few states have not been submitting any names. Those states include Alaska, Hawaii, Massachusetts, Mississippi, Montana, Oklahoma, South Dakota, and Vermont.
Now to a story involving gunshots and school buses. 2 cases in less than 24 hours in Baldwin County. Shots rang out this morning in Orange Beach near a school bus, according to authorities. Just before sunrise, police say a bus driver reported shots being fired at his bus as he drove over Perdido Pass Bridge. No children were on the bus and the bus driver was not injured. This is the second incident involving a school bus in less than 24 hours.
We've examined the bus and there's no marks on the bus that we can find. In fact, we've examined the whole bridge looking for a shell casing. Haven't found any. That doesn't mean that there's not one. He really couldn't describe the truck in any great detail. Not even sure of the color, make, model, not much of anything.
Deputies arrested 19-year-old Mendrell Porter yesterday. He's accused of firing a BB gun at a school bus in Foley. No one was hurt in that case either. Porter remains in the Baldwin County Jail.
Police in Spanish Fort are on alert after a woman claims her credit card was skimmed and all her money taken out of her account. And she may not be the only one. News 5's Lauren Vargas is live in Mobile with more on this crime.
That's right. The crime apparently happened in Baldwin County, but credit card fraud could happen anywhere. And with something like credit card skimming, criminals will often use gas pumps and ATMs to implant that device and steal your information. Linda Hendricks from Spanish Fort wants to know who stole hundreds of dollars from her account.
I tried to use my card and it was declined. And I have an iPhone, so I went straight to my iPhone and saw $100 gone, $100 gone, $100 gone.
Linda's hard-earned money was suddenly gone. She eventually tracked her card down at a Walmart hundreds of miles away in Tampa, Florida.
Well, I cried. I mean, I'm like, I had tried so hard to be good with my money, and I had some bills I needed to pay that day. And so I'm looking at a person going, I'm sorry, I can't pay my bill, I don't have any money.
According to the Department of Justice, 1 in 10 Americans will become a victim of credit card fraud. Oftentimes, the burden of that cost is put on small financial institutions like the Azalea City Credit Union.
Sometimes it's not until months, 6 months, 3 months, or even more before they even find out that their information has been compromised.
They said more than likely I bought gas or fast food or something like that. That somebody was probably operating a skimmer, which is an electronic device.
The trouble with skimmers is they're really tough, if not impossible to see. So by the time you've put your credit card in the machine, the criminal's already stolen your information. Gas stations are a common spot for skimmers. In the last few months, the Shell station on Greenlawn in Mobile has started placing these stickers over the gas pumps, so it's obvious if the machine has been tampered with. But according to Linda Hendricks, sometimes there's just no way to avoid being a victim.
You just go on with your life, but I've had all mine canceled and new cards issued with new pins. So hopefully it won't happen again, but you never know.
Now, Linda Hendricks may not be the only victim here. We have heard reports of several people in Daphne who have also been skimmed. Linda herself said when she went into the credit union the other day, there were several people in there with the same story. Reporting live in Mobile, Lauren Vargas, News 5.
That's right, Lauren. A month ago, a crook was caught on camera installing a card skimming device on an ATM at Wells Fargo on Highway 90. The bank manager recognized the machine and took it out. No transactions were made while the skimmer was in place. No arrest has been made. Coming up next on News 5 and 6, lines are starting to form at the Mobile Civic Center, but this is not a line you want to be in.
And big crowds at Ladd-Peebles Stadium for this guy. Sean Payton is back on the job, and he's looking for new talent here in Mobile.
Frigid air continues to sit over the Midwest and the Northeast, but look out west. It's warm in Southern California. It'll be warm here. That's coming up in your forecast.
People are packing Expo Hall at the Civic Center in downtown Mobile tonight to give the city some money.
Folks are in line waiting for a special night court to begin. They all have to pay traffic tickets. The court docket has about 500 tickets that need to be paid. So the city decided to hold court tonight and tomorrow night to give flexible hours to people who work during the day. The city of Chickasaw is looking to make a deal with people who owe money. The city is offering an amnesty period. It allows people with outstanding fines and warrants to pay up and not go to jail. Payments are only accepted Monday through Thursday. The amnesty program starts February 1st and runs through April 15th.
Now, Alan Seals with First Alert Weather.
Our midweek weather continues very smoothly. We had partly to mostly cloudy skies earlier, but now skies are mostly clear, so you are looking at a bright moon on the way up. Temperatures are not falling very fast either. 54 degrees at Battleship Memorial Park, and you will like that wind direction south at a fabulous 4 miles an hour. The reason you'll like it is because the temperatures you see right now, which are basically mid-50s throughout the region, are really not going to fall that much overnight. Now, last night, we had 30s. Tonight, we stay in the 40s. Even along Highway 84, places like Jackson will be about 44 degrees at 6 a.m., while closer to Pensacola, lower 50s at 6 a.m., so things are looking fairly mild for us. Now, we talked about cold weather the last couple of days. Cold weather not here, but cold weather across the Great Lakes. This is St. Joseph, Michigan. That's across the lake from Chicago, and that, of course, is an icy scene. That's what happens when you have days and days of single-digit temperatures. The ice just coats everything, and it doesn't go away. So when you look at that, and then you look at this, where would you rather be? Okay, well, here's where we are. Partly cloudy skies earlier today. A few azaleas are starting to bloom along with some other foliage, and that's the reason why you're seeing pollen on your car. It feels like spring. Now, winter's not over. We'll still have a few more cold nights and days ahead, but in the near sunshine. And as I mentioned on Friday, a few more clouds, but small, just small rain chance. Will be near 70 degrees. Cooler on Saturday and Sunday, but cooler still is seasonable. We're talking 60 over the weekend, and next week we start to warm up all over again.
Sounds pretty good, and thank you very much, Alan. It's time now for sports, and here's Randy Patrick.
All right, a couple of weeks ago we had a big group of reporters down in Miami with Coach Nick Saban. I had to kneel down so the cameras wouldn't get my head. And today, same story here in Mobile. I was kneeling in front of Sean Payton. but I'm getting old now and I can't get back up. We're here with Sean Payton has to say about his return to the New Orleans Saints. Plus, we give you an update on South Alabama linebacker Jake Johnson, who was in the Senior Bowl and apparently is not anymore.
Now, Randy Patrick with News 5 Sports.
Well, Senior Bowl week moving as fast as a wide receiver going deep. Day 3 brought us a little bit of national attention here to Mobile as the return of Saints head coach Sean Payton is official as he returned to work following a nearly year-long suspension for his role in the Saints bounty program. Coach Payton arriving at Ladd-Peebles Stadium this morning and watched the North practice, then had plans to meet later in the day with his staff to evaluate a defense that struggled. He declined to say if he planned to make any changes to his coaching staff during a 45-minute session with reporters. He spoke a day after NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell lifted his suspension. Payton says he and Goodell agreed not to discuss specifics when asked whether there was an organized bounty system. Here's what he said.
I'm not, and look, one of the primary purposes of the meeting that Commissioner and I had was for us to move forward, and I appreciate the question, but both of us agreed that the specifics were not going to be what we met on, and certainly the specifics are not going to be what I visit with everyone about right now. And I think we're at a point, and you guys would all agree, we're at a point where it's time for closure. It's time for us as a team. It's time for us as a league to take this next step forward. I know we're excited, obviously in New Orleans, that we're getting ready to host the Super Bowl. Certainly disappointed we're not playing in it, but two great teams are, and that's how I'll answer that.
And you can bet the coach was happy to be back in a football atmosphere. Most, if not all, of the All-Stars have been following Payton's suspension. I talked to a couple of Louisiana-based players to get their reaction on the coach's return to the Big Easy.
Well, Louisiana is a very prideful state, very passionate, very cultured. So, when you got people like Sean Payton who've made a huge difference and impact on the city of New Orleans and the state of Louisiana, I mean, he's an icon, and I'm happy he's back, and I can't wait to see him coaching on Sundays.
You know what? It's great that Sean Payton's back down there, and it's just great to see a great coach go back to the team that needs him.
And the tough practices are now over for the All-Stars. They will hold a light workout tomorrow morning. The South will practice at Ladd-Peebles Stadium, while the North All-Stars will work out at Fairhope Municipal Stadium. Both practices start at 9:30. And last night we told you that South Alabama linebacker Jake Johnson had been added to the South roster of the Senior Bowl. But Jake's time on the field apparently is going to be short. After warming up today and doing a few drills, he got into the action and then injured his Achilles heel, apparently. And it looks like he will be out for the week. No official confirmation on that yet, but it's a tough break for Jake Johnson of USA. Just outside the gates of Ladd-Peebles Stadium, some serious football fans, as in the Serious Radio football heads, who've started a tradition here in Mobile. This is the 6th year for the fans of the network's radio show to set up for a week of fun here in the Port City. The guys come in from all over the country and get many opportunities during the week to talk to the players and coaches who are here watching the game.
And what we do is we just like to talk football with them. Obviously, we don't dig at them about secrets like, hey, who are you going to draft? But we do understand that these new players, these future stars of the NFL, are going to be a big part with our team. We just don't know which one yet. So that's the fun.
And let me tell you, they're having some fun, and their fun's going to continue for a few more days.
Yeah. All right, and we thank you very much, Randy.
Alan has a look at your forecast when we come back. So nice. How much longer can we look forward to it?
A lot longer. We have 2 very warm days ahead of us and then 2 good days behind those. So we're in the mid-40s tonight. That's a good start. Typical lows are close to 40 degrees. And here's what I'm talking about. Upper 60s to near 70 for tomorrow and Friday. Small chance of a shower on Friday. And then for the weekend, we settle back near 60. Perfect football weather.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And thank you very much, Alan. Please join us again tonight at 10 o'clock. Have a very pleasant evening.
See you then.